All right, we're gonna go ahead and go over some little cheat codes. They're not cheat codes in the sense of cheating, right? But they're little tricks, hacks to use in the Texas Desmos system to easily find your answer without doing any work. So this is your ACP review with your cheat codes. Which value of x makes the equation true? So write that down. So this is your ACP review. We're doing stations today. And here's your first example. And it's on the idea of equivalence. Equivalence. Write this down. Absolute value x minus 9 plus 3 equals 2x plus 1. Absolute value x minus 9 plus 3 equals 2x plus 1. Double check what you wrote. Plus 3. Okay. So the main thing to look at is the equal sign, right? Circle it. That means you're going to graph this side of the equation and then this side of the equation. This is an absolute value, so it will look like some kind of V shape, and this is a linear equation. Y-intercept of 1, slope of 2, so it'll be some kind of line. So you're going to graph each side of the equal sign to see where they equal, equivalent, where they cross, where they meet up. So you're going to graph it. Make sure you graph it on your paper as well. So let's see, absolute value is inside of this tray A, or it's also right here as well. So absolute value, x minus 9, absolute value, plus 3 igual to x más 1. Double check your entry, make sure you have it exactly the same. As you can see, you can't graph it, right? So you're gonna erase and then graph it separately. So graph one side, graph the other, and bam. Where do they cross? They might cross twice. Make sure you are careful about that. This cross is only obviously one time, as you can see, at 3.667. So you're gonna graph it and show where they cross. 3.667, comma 8.33. Is asking for which value of x, right, makes the equation true. Which value of x makes the equation true? X. X is this one, right? X comma y. If you forget, x comes before y in the alphabet. So 3.667 is your answer, and that's it. Now let's look at our choices here. That's not on here, right? So which one of these fractions is 3.667? Well, 11 divided by 3 is about 3, right? Point something. Double check it as well. Put in your calculator, 11 divided by 3. Make sure you double check. There you go. 11 out of 3 is your answer, okay? So that's how you do these questions. You're drawing it out. Make sure you write the question down and you circle your answer. Make a note that you're graphing each side of equal sign, right? That's what you're doing. That's your direction to yourself. This is how you study. This is how you study and get a good grade on your ACP, by making thorough notes. All right, so that's example number 1. Example number 2 for equivalence would look like these questions here. So let's try this one. X squared minus 6x plus 2. Find the roots. You should know what roots are. So find the roots. X squared minus 6x plus 2. Okay? Roots. Write this down. You should know roots means zeros, x-intercepts, solutions, right? Draw a picture. X-intercept is where it crosses your x-axis. Where does the function cross the x-axis, right? So it's very easy. You could do the quadratic formula, x equals negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac, and do it that way, which is fine. Or you can just graph all of these instead. So you're going to graph this one. A is x equals 6 plus or minus 2 radical 7, right? This means you're going to graph x equals 6 plus 2 radical 7. You're also going to graph x equals 6 minus 2 radical 7. That's what that means. It's two different entries. Your x-intercept crosses at this point and this point. So 6 plus 2 something. So it's like 8 something. 6 minus 2 something, it's around 3 something, 3 point something. So let's go ahead and graph all these choices. Okay, you're going to put in your equation given, x squared minus 6x minus those, and then put in x equals 6 plus 2. Radical is right here, 7, and you can just copy it, hit Control Alt, Control C, and then Control V to paste it. And then just put minus. Remember, it's plus or minus. Plus or minus. All right, do those two equations, right, those roots, cross the x-intercepts? No, they don't. This one crosses here. The blue one crosses here. It needs to cross at your x-intercepts right here, right? It does not. So that's not the answers. So let's try B. X equals 3 plus or minus radical 7. How would you type that in? Try without my help. Pause the video. You got it. X equals 3 plus radical 7 and x equals 3 minus radical 7. So let's go ahead and try that. X equals 3 plus radical 7. X equals 3 minus radical 7. Do those two lines, that red and purple line, cross the x-intercept? Look at that, it does. So that's your answer, B, okay? Make sure you draw your picture. Your parabola looks like that. And those things cross, those two lines cross right here, right? It crossed. Those two roots crossed the x-intercept, right? When you put them in like that. So make sure you draw your picture, write your question, and pick your answer. Okay, so that's equivalence. That's how you do those. All right, so that's equivalence. Let's go ahead and do inequality cheat code. So we're gonna go ahead and try number 1. What is the solution set for this inequality? Radical, absolute value 7x minus 7, absolute value minus 4 is less than 10. So what is this solution set? Let's call this inequalities. All right, cheat. Okay, you're going to use 1 curly brackets. What is this solution set? Here's example 1. For 7x minus 7 minus 4 is less than 10. Well, you could do it by hand, which, you know, is fine, where you add your 4, that's 14, and then you're going to set the inside equal to 14, and then make another case a negative case, and then solve for x plus 7, 20, 20, no, 21, 22, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Yes, I use my fingers, and it's okay. So x is less than 3. Plus 7 is what? Negative 7. X is greater than negative 1. To be honest, it's faster to do it that way, to create your two cases. Case 1, case 2. And also, you need to know how to do it by hand, because some questions on your test might be a fill in the blank, or it might be an error analysis where you have to know how to do the actual steps. Also, if you don't remember the cheat code, you might be like, oh, I forgot how to do this cheat code. Well, you always have your backup, right? You always have your original plan, which is by hand. But here's the cheat code. So you're going to put a 1, curly bracket, and then your problem. The whole thing, and then curly bracket. And that's it. So let's go ahead and try that in Desmos. I'm gonna erase all that. The number 1, curly bracket, and then your problem. Absolute values down here. 7x minus 7. Double check your entry. Absolute value minus 4 is less than's right here, or it's also here, 10. And then a curly bracket. You can also find the curly bracket somewhere in here as well, but shift curly bracket. So double check your entry, make sure it's correct. 7x minus 7 minus 4 less than 10. Okay, and there's your answer. So you can zoom in a little bit if you have to zoom in. It goes from negative 1 to 3. So any number between negative 1 and 3 works in that expression. Any number that's over here, 6 or an 8, would not make this inequality true. It would not be less than 10. Like if you try a 6, for example, and you can do this as well in your test. Not everything needs to be cheat codes. Try a 6, for example. What's 7 times 6? 42. What's 42 minus 7? 42 minus 7, 35. The absolute value of 35 minus 4. 35 minus 4 is 31. Is 31 less than 10? No, it's not. So you can also plug in numbers to see, if it satisfies your inequality. So your answer is from negative 1 to 3. Make sure you draw that out. It's open because this is like this. If it's these ones, it's open. If it's like closed, right, it has a line, and it's a bracket. Make sure you have that in your notes on every page somewhere, right? You need to know that. So from negative 1 to 3 is your answer. So your answer would be negative 1 to 3, okay? What if we changed this symbol and it was the other way around? What if it was greater than? Hypothetically speaking, which values would make it greater than 10, right? Well, obviously the bigger numbers, anything that's over 3, anything that's less than negative 1 would satisfy this inequality, making it greater than 10. So what if your picture looks like this? So go ahead and write this down. What if you had greater than 10, right? Your picture would look like this. keep going, keep going, keep going, keep dragging it, keep dragging it, it goes forever. You can keep dragging it and you'll find out it goes forever. You can zoom out, it goes forever this way. Any number less than -1, any number greater than 3 would satisfy this inequality. Not these numbers, that there's a gap right here. Those numbers would not be greater than 10, it would be less than 10. So what if your picture looked like this? Which one would you pick then? Well, any number less than -1 and any number greater than 3. If you have two lines, then you pick the one that has 2 answers, right? So go ahead and write that down. It'll be x is less than -1 or x is greater than 3. Write this one down. This one is x is greater than -1 and less than 3. If it's in between like this, then your answer is in between numbers. If your answer, your picture is split, then it's split, right? It works together like that, visually. All right, so that's your inequality cheat. Let's do another one. We'll do number 6. You're gonna graph this just how you see it with the cheat code. So let's write that down. X squared minus 10x plus 4 is greater than -12. It's asking for the solution set of this inequality. So your code is whenever you see inequality, these symbols, use this cheat code. Write that down. And remember that you're gonna see a picture that looks like this or like this, okay? Make that note for yourself. Draw that out, okay? You're gonna go ahead and put a 1 in front and curly bracket. Go ahead and try that. Desmos, a 1 in front, -12. Hey. All right. X squared minus 10x plus 4. Double check your entry. X squared minus 10x plus 4 is greater than -12. All right, it's separate like that, so make sure you draw it out. All right, so make sure you draw the picture that you see, right? And it goes from, what number is that? It's around 2. And then that's around 8. So 2 to 8. So that means any number below 2 would satisfy this equation, and any, or inequality, and any number greater than 8. So let's look at our answer choices. A, B, C, or D? Think about it, think about it, think about it. What's wrong with C? Well, C is the wrong numbers, right? So it's not C. What's wrong with D? How can it be 2 something? There's an 8 involved as well. So it's not C or D. So make sure you are eliminating on your test. It's A or B, right? I just said any number less than 2. What would that look like? Infinity, negative, right? Any number greater than 8, that will be infinity. 2 to 8 will look like this. This is 2 to 8. It's just from 2 to 8. Only those numbers would work in this inequality. But this one's saying from -infinity to 2. And they pick back up, there's a space here, you pick back up at 8 to infinity. So that's your answer. B, okay? So make sure you make both pictures. All right, next topic. A plus BI. You're going to love this cheat. You're going to be mad at me for not showing this to you sooner. All right. Let's do number 6. A plus BI. Example 1. 6 plus 3i times 2 minus 5i. Now, you're more than welcome to do it by hand. 6 times 2 is 12. 6 times negative 5 is negative 30i. 3 times 2 is plus 6i. 3 times 5 is negative 15i squared. That's negative 1. Bring that down. That ends up being a plus 15. That's a negative 24i. 12 plus 15 is what? 30, 20, 27. So that's one way to do the thing by hand, right? That's how I taught you, because that's my job. But for this test, use your cheats. In Texas Desmos, click your wrench. Click your wrench. Make sure complex mode is on. Make sure that thing is on. Okay? There's the I right there if you forget. And then put your complex expression in. 6 plus 3i, parentheses, another parentheses, 2 minus 5i. Write exactly what you saw, and that's it. And there you go, 27 minus 4, 24i. Did we do it right? We did. But like I said, you need to know how to do this by yourself, because there are some problems where it's an error analysis, where the steps are done for you and it says which step is the error. Step 1, step 2, step 3, or step 4. That's what it will do for you. So make sure you know how to do it by hand. That's your cheat. And that's for all of them. For 1 through 5 as well. Same thing, just write exactly what you see. Okay? Next, okay, let's do word problem. All right, so let's do number 1, Maria. So next one, word problem. All right, Maria has 45 coins made of pennies, nickels, dimes, X, Y, and Z. That's what it says. You don't need to write the word Maria or has or made or of. Just write the key words. She has 3 times as many nickels as pennies. Write that down. 3 times as many nickels as pennies. The coins total 3.35. 3.35 is your total. Okay. So write an equation. All right. So you need to eliminate. That's how you do this problem. And every word problem, eliminate. What's wrong with one of them? What's wrong with D? Can you guys see it? What's wrong with this right here? What is X? Pennies, nickels, dimes, what? X is pennies. What's wrong with this? How do you write a penny? If you're at Walmart, at the cash register, which one would be penny? This one. 0.01 is a penny. 0.10 or 0.1 is a dime, right? $3 in a dime. $3 in a penny. So make sure you understand that this is a penny and this is a dime. Okay? So D is not the answer. Eliminate. It's on your school city. Make sure you're doing the elimination tool and crossing it out. Make your life easier. What's wrong with C? What's wrong with C? What's wrong with this? The number of coins should equal what? 45. The price, these are pricings, right? Pricing goes with pricing. Price goes with price. Like this. Price goes with price. Number of coins goes with number of coins. Make it match. Let's not be, it's not a C. So C, no, D, no. So it's A or B, right? So the next thing you do on your test is read the second sentence, usually. She has 3 times as many what as what? What word do you read first? Nickels or pennies? Nickels was read first, right here. Not up here, down here. Nickels, pennies. Nickels is Y. Nickels, pennies. Nickels, pennies. Oh, that's dimes. Nickels, dimes. Nickels, pennies. So if nickels reads first, then make sure that the Y is what you see first. Pennies was X, so B. B. Question. That's how you do those ones. Let's look at number 2. What's first in this sentence? Do you read nickels first? Do you read dimes first? Nickels is read first. So what should come first? Nickels or dimes? Nickels, right? If you see nickels first, in most cases, I'm not saying all, but on your test, most cases, nickels is read first. Pick the one with nickels first. All right, so that's word problems. Now, matrix. Last topic. Matrix. Number 1. Actually, I'm gonna give you guys an example, a random example. All right, let's say we have x minus 2y minus z equals 5. Then we've got negative 3x minus 7 equals z. I don't know. And then say you have x minus 4 equals negative y plus 3z. I'm making something up. Okay, your x needs to be here, y, z, and then your solo number. It doesn't matter as long as your x, y, and z are on one side. You can have x, y, z equals a number, or you can have number equals x, y, z. I don't care. Pick a side. All right? So the coefficient of this x term is 1. The coefficient of this y term is negative 2. The coefficient of this z is negative 1z, right? Negative 1. The constant, the solo number is 5. The coefficient of our x term is negative 3. The y, there is no y term, so it should be, you got it, 0. The z term's on the wrong side. It should be over here with the x, right? So we gonna take this positive one that it would be, subtract it, so now it's a negative 1. So it's the opposite. Wrong side, change the sign. Wrong side, change the sign. It rhymes. If you can't remember, I don't know what to tell you, okay? Because it rhymes. Wrong side, change the sign. Wrong side, change the sign. All right, z, wrong side, so it's negative 1. And then negative 7 should be on this side by itself, so positive 7. It's easier to move this x. Why is that? Because you got y and z over here. So y and z is like, hey, come over here with us. You're on the wrong side. So it'll be a negative 1. It's on the wrong side. The y, negative 1. Z, positive 3. Keep this negative 4 right where it is because we move this x. So now the negative 4 is by itself on one of the sides. So it's fine how it is. Bam. Okay. So that's how you do the matrix. How do you put it in your calculator though? Let's try it. All right. Let's try it. So you're gonna hit menu, make sure you're on home screen, hit calculate A, A for calculate. Hit, if it's all this crap on here, hit menu, hit actions, clear history. All right, we're gonna hit menu, 7, 11, 3, tab, 4, 3, 4. Enter, and put your numbers in. 1, -2, -1, 5. 1, -2, -1, 5. This is a negative, not this. This is minus, this is negative. They are different. They're different on here. 0, -1, 7. -1, -1, 3, -4. Double check your entry that you did it correctly. And hit enter. Hit menu, 7, 5, up, enter, enter. And there's your answer. So your X value will be -1.5. Your Y value will be -2. And your Z value will be -2.5. That's what you would select on a test. It might say, what's the Z value? Well, the Z value is obviously the last one. Well, that's because you entered it in that way. So it's however you entered it in. X, Y, Z. And the solo number. So your Z is the last number. Say that's, your question. You'll write -2.5 is my Z value. So that's how you do these matrices. I think we've covered everything. I wanted to go over, let's see here. Anything else I wanted to go over? The matrix. Say, for example, it says x plus 3x minus 5, and it says, which of these, let's try something else. Let's try x plus 3x. Let's try, let's try this. So what if it says, wait 1 second. Which one of these are an equivalent expression to this function right here, right? I might say an equivalent expression or function to this function up here. It might do all kind of weird things, some weird stuff. I don't know. I'm just making up something, okay? All right. Well, you would graph the question and then graph the answers and see which ones are the same parabola, okay? That's another equivalent thing that you need to know about. If it's asking which one of these is the same thing as this, well, then you just graph all of these, right? That's it. So that's your ACP review. Good luck on your ACP. Use your keys. When you sit down and take your test, make sure you write this down. Make sure you know this is less, greater, open brackets, closed brackets, closed, closed, less or equal, greater or equal. Make sure you know Dr. XY, oh my. Make sure you know if you see like this, shaded, that's Y is greater, right? If it's like this, it's also Y is greater. If it's like this, Y is going below. If it's like this, it's also below, right? Make sure you know those. These are your keys to pass your test. And I think that's it. Bye.